Let's get into what's going on with the insurance stuff. Now, hang with me. This is important, so it's not going to be boring, trust me. But let's move into basically what they're doing about creating a reality of no privacy and basically not owning anything and them having every aspect to your life. And a lot of that is coming from this group. It's called the GIC, or the Geospatial Insurance Consortium. And let's just kind of get an idea of who these people are, shall we, and what role that they may play. Let's check this out.
The GIC is a membership group made up of insurance carriers who collectively utilize geospatial data to better serve their customers.
This insurance consortium maximizes high-resolution imagery, enabling cutting-edge analytical tools for more informed underwriting, quicker claims resolution, reduced fraud, and faster catastrophe response.
Through the GIC, you'll gain access to wide area top-down imagery from coast to coast, along with ultra-high-resolution oblique imagery from major metro areas that include more than 80% of the U.S. population. And following major storms and catastrophic events, you'll have imagery from impacted areas within 24 hours of survey aircraft touchdown. The GIC imagery library can be accessed through the online web viewer, ArcGIS, and other mapping platforms, or integrated directly with APIs. Join some of the biggest names in P&C insurance and become a member of the GIC today.
Isn't that great? A wonderful company built of insurance and companies and corporations and stuff that are all keeping aerial track of everybody's homes and cars and all their property and everything. Isn't that wonderful? The use of satellites, drones for aerial images allows insurance companies to determine if you're worth insuring by monitoring you remotely. Remember the good old, representation? There's none of that going on. So let's take a look, shall we? This is coming from The Hedge. Insurers spy on houses via aerial imagery, seeking reasons to cancel coverage. Insurance companies across the country are using satellites, drones, manned planes, and even high-altitude balloons to spy on properties they cover with homeowners' policies. This, you can already see, this is going into a dangerous territory. And using the findings to drop customers, often without giving opportunity to address alleged shortcomings. We've seen dramatic increases across the country in reports from consumers who have been dropped by their insurers on the basis of aerial images. Oh, yeah. In pitching its ability to provide high-resolution imagery and insights for property reviews, GIC says insurers can use service to review risk and exposure on a building, such as proximity of vegetation to the structure, whether a roof needs updating, and verify the exact location for policy. Right. That's what you're using it for. Sure. They give us a few examples here. It says the journal describes the experience of North California resident Cindy Picos, who was dropped by the CSAA insurance last month, with the company saying aerial imagery revealed that her roof had aged beyond life expectancy. She paid for the inspection of her own, which, this is funny because I've actually gotten a few emails. It's not funny, but it's convenient. I've actually gotten a few emails from people who watched and said they're having the same issue with insurance companies where they're refusing to now insure their homes because of things like this that can only be shown via these aerial imageries. Interesting. So I've actually heard from a few people dealing with this exact thing. So saying aerial imagery revealed that her roof had aged beyond expectancy. She paid for an inspection on her own, which found the roof to be was good for another decade. CSAA wasn't impressed and said its decision was final. Wow. Another California, CJ Sven. It would be a Sven. It's always Sven. Have you guys known as Sven? They're always pretty polite. CJ Sven. Sorry, it's just a fun name to see. Or Sveen, whatever. Was dropped by AAA homeowners insurance after their reconnaissance reconnaissance. That's a way to put it. Discovered clutter in his yard. Just clutter, I guess. And indignant Sven told ABC7 that he uses his yard as a workshop. Apparently, they have some pictures and they notice clutter. I find that offensive. How dare you judge me because of my stuff? That's a whole different discussion. We're not going to go into that. Let's just focus on the task at hand here. In AAA's defense, clutter wasn't just about aesthetics. It could present a fire hazard, as they say. Another California couple had their policy torn up on AAA after overhead photography found their swimming pool had been drained. The aging pair said they emptied it because their grandchildren had grown up. Oh, that's sweet. And they are no longer used it. Empty pools are prone to cracking for lack of counter pressure from the water, and they can also float up from the earth, creating hazardous conditions. Then we got Michigan Farmers Insurance. Nicole Agent Brink told the Journal she quit the company last year over her concern that it was aggressively using aerial imagery to chase off customers. Goes on to say it's probably no coincidence that Californians are frequently targeted for non-renewal via overhead spy technology. Insurers are aggressively paring back their business on the state as the state's thicket of regulations has blocked insurers' ability to adequately charge for coverage in a state cursed by wildfires and earthquakes. Last year, for example, State Farm said it would no longer issue new homeowners policy in the Golden State. In March, the company took In March, the company took the more draconian step of opting not to renew 72,000 property and commercial apartment policies. AIG bailed on the state in 2022. So here's the thing. We've got a lot here as far as you will own nothing and be happy, because, not having insurance on a home is probably not the best thing to do. I know some aren't there some states? I probably should have looked this up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are some states that require it if you own a home, which I'm sorry, owning your home is a fallacy anyways. Do you pay property and property tax? Then you don't actually own it because you're still paying in order to have it. So, but that's just the reality that we live in now. But either way, they're taking care of the homeowners things. This goes into, again, not owning it, but also the spying as well. And something that I've shown before on this channel, which I think is relevant to show again because it's just so revealing, is actually from a 2016 video game called The Watch Dogs 2, and it has to do with creating smart cities and allowing access to not only Big Brother, but the other little brothers like these insurance companies in order to monitor and basically control your life. And so I think this is quite revealing of what the Internet of Things is, as well as the possibility. There's something that they address as far as insurance companies using this in this video. So pay attention, because this is exactly what we're seeing happen now.
In 2013, Chicago realized the promise of smart cities with CTOS, a citywide operating system merging big data with surveillance, security, and transit programs. With a few hundred lines of code, hackers were able to hijack its central servers and cripple the entire grid. Many believed the attack would be a killing blow for smart city development. They were wrong. Coordinated from the heart of Silicon Valley, CTOS 2.0 has been implemented across the United States, ushering in the Internet of Things. 6.4 billion connected devices now serve as collection points, mapping and recording our daily routines, making a more secure and more invasive system. But who else is listening? Big Brother no longer works alone. Thousands of little brothers monitor and aggregate your every move, building a complete digital profile of you to be bought, sold, or stolen in an instant. Toys study your children, reporting their play habits back to marketers. Appliances, consoles, and home security systems give corporations a window into your private life. Control of your vehicle and mobile device can now be breached remotely by anyone at any time. You may think that you are immune or underestimate the risk, but your digital shadow is already compromised. Insurance companies use algorithms to monitor your life habits and limit or deny coverage. Health providers determine if your cancer is worth treating. Search results and news feeds are skewed to bias mood and influence your vote, engineering social uprisings on a massive scale. You are now less valuable than the data you produce. This is the new reality. Going dark is no longer an option.
Yeah, we're pretty much seeing that, aren't we? We're pretty much seeing that. And you'll notice in the video, it says insurance companies monitor your life habits to limit or deny coverage. That's exactly what we have just seen with the GIC, which is very, very fascinating. And you'll notice a bunch of other stuff on there when it comes to the Internet of Things, connecting everything, including your home, your car, all your appliances, even like your children's toys that monitor that. And it creates, oh, well, the kids like this type of toy, so we're going to go ahead and create something else that they would like in order to continue to sell things. And it has to do with your social profile, connecting you to everything that you do, knowing every bit of your life. And that's your social profile, your digital twin. The thing that I've been talking about for a long time is in fact being created. And that includes monitoring not only your property, like for insurance and whatnot, but it's also going to monitor your health as well, which we actually got something coming up as far as health a little bit later. But guys, that video, again, you want to talk about predictive programming? There it is. That's from 2016. It's not super old, but it shows exactly what is being built and what's here. We are seeing this stuff actively happening here. And it's crazy with what's going on.